And now let's lift up and sink down and let that fishing weight be hanging on the end of your tailbone, and it's just sinking down, and the crown of your head is attached to the sky. And then let's connect our hands and put your awareness in the space between your arms. And let that space expand on its own. And it's expanding into the soft underbelly of your arms and out towards your outer skin. So it's like you become a balloon. Oh, there's Ash! Oh my gosh, that's so great! And now as you close, can you just imagine that every part of your body is getting bigger? Oh, there he went. And again, let's expand that space. Maybe we can invite him back in. Come on, Ash. Yeah, that looks very nice, Janet. And then, again, close. So Shirley, I feel like maybe lower your arms a little. There we go. Yeah, and you too. Cheryl, lower your arms just a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that looks very nice, Beatrice. Good, good, Sarah. And one more. Lengthen your neck. Open up the jade pillow. Good. And now let's let this sink down. Now let's just do a Qigong movement for opening up our lungs and the sides of our body. So floating it up, and then just sinking the ball down. And this is actually called painting the rainbow. So you can pretend that your fingertips are the brushes of a rainbow. Try to keep your shoulders down. Don't let them hike up. So the shoulders are the heaviness and the fingertips are the lightness. And now let's divide those clouds. Push them away. Cross in front. Drawing the energy up. Separate. So these movements here are from the 18 Qigong. It's also known as Shibashi Qigong. And it's for medical benefit. So we'll do one more of these opening the clouds. So the painting the rainbow, opening the clouds. We're going to try to do all of them. So this one's Repulse Monkey, and this is the traditional one. So you open up, place your hand close to your ear, roll the ball away, open up. Yeah, good. Keep the connection between your hands. So it's not one hand, it's one hand, one hand. There's Jessica. Feel that turning in your feet. Very nice. The next one is rowing, so standing up and then just pressing back. But not too far back, okay? Don't go back behind the thighs too much. Then draw that energy up. Feel it go through the spine, out to the shoulders. And hold the ball well in front of you. Feel like your back is up, pressed up against the back wall. That's your counterbalance. Divide it. Receive and draw it up. And holding the ball and sinking down, and expand that spine upward. So nice to do some really simple movements and just kind of work on our posture a little bit. Very nice. Yeah, hi Jessica. And now separate your hands, placing your hands on two Great Danes' heads. Now remember that we lift the arm by sinking the shoulder. So sink your left shoulder, your left elbow, and it floats up, and there's a slight weight shift to the right, then turn. So think that your right shoulder gets down and heavy, elbow heavy, wrist heavy. You should feel that heaviness go right down into the feet. This one's called lifting a ball, and this is still part of that 18 Shibashi or easy Qigong. I have this on a video, online course, in fact. One more to each side. Very nice. Make sure you're keeping both knees bent. And now placing your hands in light fist inside the qua. And remember we talked last week about keeping this qua from getting flat and straight. So we're going to turn, and the more our hand goes out, the more we let go here. Let go, let go, let go. So effectively the distance from here to here lengthens. Then come back. And wind up. And turning. That's right. So your left hand and turn. There you go. There's Ash. I was just thinking of him again. That's right. Remember not to over rotate. I don't think most of you are, but just it's really on a parallel to your knee. If you're here, that's too much, okay? And winding up. And same goes for the wind up. Now, it may look like I'm rotating a lot, but I'm really not. So just gentle release. And the wind up is a little bit. A lot of you are going way back here. It's just a little bit, okay? And then release and let go of that left leg. And we'll do one more. So a little wind up. That's enough. That's it. Then through the foot, feel kind of a line from this foot out to your fingers. Very good. Waving hands in clouds. That's right, very nice, Jessica. I don't know if you can hear me, but you're doing great. Really good. So the hardest part for beginners is to move slowly. There's a lot of benefit to our body, to our joints, to our nutrients, our internal nutrients, to move slowly. Most of us have spent a lifetime pushing through and moving fast. So the outside arm is actually receiving. Most people think that's the one that's giving. It's this arm that's giving, the arm that's opposite of the direction you're going. Okay, so let's pretend you're pushing the water with your right arm. There you go. And then we switch it up as the follow through, and now the left arm is pushing through the water, and the right arm is soft and receiving, so that it's not creating resistance in the water. If you were in a body of water. That's it, nice. See, doesn't that change the dynamic of it? So the top arm is like stealth, it's slicing through the water, and the bottom arm is feeling the resistance and pushing through the water. And one more. Very nice. And then we'll come back to the middle, gather that energy, place it in your Dantian. Now these are so far all of the Qigong movements, the medical Qigong 18. So this one's called looking at the sky. It's important that you don't twist, no, okay? You rotate. This stays in alignment with this. So it may look like I'm twisting, but I am not. So when my arms float up, I'm only going as far as I can keep this aligned, okay? So here we go. So get in your nice posture and feel like your fingers are dragging in the sand. Turn the floor with your feet and let your arms float up. Turn the floor with your feet. And then turn the whole trunk. You keep sitting down on your stool. So you're turning on your stool. And that's it. And then don't look at your hands. That's a good one. I could feel that open up my left shoulder. So you turn the floor with your feet, then the rest just follows. So it's not the arms doing the work and coming back to the middle. Very good. And next is picking up burdens. So get in a nice bow stance, sink your elbows down, release these. These are soft. And hinge at the hips. Only go down as far as comfortable. Now be the seesaw. Tailbone becomes heavy, the arms float up. And now you're really sitting down heavy in the chair, shoulders are heavy, and you open up and release and let it go. Maybe after doing Tai Chi and Qigong for as many years or months as you all have, maybe these burdens are a little lighter. Let's hope so. Release and let go. I know I approach life completely differently than I used to. Can you feel as though you're holding that boulder with your spine? And so you're moving the whole spine to lift it. And open up and release and let go. And we'll do one more. So you're wrapping your whole spine around that boulder. And let it go. Now, the next one we get in a smaller bow stance, and this one's like pushing a swing. We rock back and forth and push the swing. But when we do it, it's really important that you keep your knees bent. So when you come back, you don't do that. That's incorrect, okay? You come back and you actually lengthen from here to here. Then when you push forward, you let go of this. Let this be your counterbalance, your heaviness. So it's back and forward. No leaning. Your posture stays upright. That's it. And forward. So this relates to some of our Yang style Tai Chi actually. So just make sure that your knee is staying forward. Ask yourself, if you were in this position, could you get pulled over? And if you were in this position, could somebody push you over? Your answer should be no. And one more. Very good. Now I'm going to mix it up a little bit. We're going to do our horizontal flying, but we're going to be in this bow stance position. Okay, so we're going to go this direction. Big hug. I want everybody to touch your thigh. Raise your hand up from that thigh. Then turn the whole body and the arm comes to that front leg, arm. Yep, but okay. Some of you, you're way over here. Bring it in. So Janet, turn more towards your left. That's it, right there. Good. Now open up and expand. And this leg's deeper into the ground. Then come back and make sure you're not over rotating. That's it. Nice. Good, Jessica. Open up. That's right. And then back. So Cheryl, I think you're a little bit too twisted as well. So bring it in to the center more. There, that's it. That's it. That's where your hands will meet. Then open up and come back. So when you meet, it's really meeting wherever your dantian is pointing. Yes, that's nice. So feel now as if you're giving the energy from the soft underbelly of your forearms to the outer skin. So soft underbelly is giving and it's expanding to your outer skin. And then here it's this arm that's giving, this one's receiving. It's soft and receiving. Very nice. And we'll transition to the next one. I think I did those out of order actually. All right, let's do our punches now. So light fists. Right here in the claw, and remember that when we punch, we keep everything loose, soft and loose, no muscles. This claw, the opposite claw is soft and receiving. So here we go, and you turn the floor. Keep everything aligned. So wind up a little bit, don't overwind. That's it, and then let it go. Yeah, hey! And then wind up the other way. And nice. Good. Wind up. So feel it go from the feet out to the hands. And then you should feel a real grounded feeling as well. So, and wind up and punch. Wind up and punch. Nice. Remember, don't give all your energy away, right? So if all the energy is going forward, you can be taken over. So as I go forward, I'm shooting energy behind me as well. Wind up and punch. That's it. Next one is vertical flying. You can either be flat-footed or you can go up on your toes. If you go up on your toes, keep everything aligned. Do not do this. Don't do that. That's incorrect. So keep it aligned. Okay, so you sit down, lift up, sink your shoulders down, release and let go, and expand your spine up. Okay. Sink that tailbone down, shoulders down, and expand your spine up. Shoulder blades in your back pockets. And release. Crown of your head is suspended and you're nice and open. And one more up. That's beautiful. We're like a whole flock of birds flying together. Very nice. Okay. The next one is called Around the World. We're going to skip that one because I'm a little dizzy today. So let's go ahead and next would be our kicks. So we lift up, kick out, and come back. Now the Qigong kick is a little different, but since we're doing Yang style, we'll go ahead and do this. So, and you can do a toe touch if that's really challenging for you. So you could do toe touch and back. Toe touch and back. Or you can do a low kick. Stay seated. Let's try a couple of the Qigong ones, okay? So you lift your left hand lifts your right elbow, and then flip it out, let it go, place it down. So it's kind of like our punch, right? So you lift up, this is loose, 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 then explode it out, and then let it go. So this is kind of a white crane flashing wing posture, then you let it go. Whee, that leg, come on. There we go. And like a puppet string, it pulls up, let it go. And we'll do one more. Lift up, let it go. And then we do the closing form, which is exactly like the opening form. Lifting up, drawing the energy up through the spine out to the fingers. Let it go. And here's a nice opportunity to open up and find your Tai Chi stance. That's nice. Good. Nice breath in. Let it go. And one more. Lifting up. And rest your finger on your thigh in front. And just find any areas that you have shortened or tightened up and try to, instead of let go of it, just expand it. Very nice. That's great. And actually, we'll be in our position of Wuji. And separate your feet to shoulder width apart. And commencement form. It's just a nice exercise to find your stance. Now, waving hands in clouds, left, a very simple one, left hand on top. And come back to the middle. Expand the space between your arms. And I'll let that ball go down towards the left thigh, turning the whole body. Dusting the table. Turn the floor with your feet. Push the water. Weights on the left. Open. Close. To the left, to the right, I'm sorry. To the right. Waving hands. Let the arms go completely and come back into Wuji. Very nice. Okay, that was beautiful. Lots of chi there. Let me just touch on a couple little things with that one before we move on to the other one, because it'll relate, it'll carry over. Okay, so first of all, when you take your step out of Wuji, which is meaning nothingness, Wuji is nothing. There's nothing here. When I take my step and I separate my feet, I want to understate the Tai Chi, the division or the left and right, the separating of my feet. Because if I'm way back over here, go ahead and do this with me. Get into your position of Wuji and take a wider step, okay? Now, do you feel how so many things happen? You're straining your knee here. You have to almost counterbalance, and then you almost fall into this side because you've used so momentum over here. So when you put it out, but now, if we have to do waving hands and clouds, now go ahead and try to take this foot and go to the left with it. Do you feel how stuck you are? Okay, so it's really important that when you take your first step, this one, that if anything, it's narrower than maybe your typical Tai Chi stance. Now, get set up for waving hands and clouds, and you can lift this leg easily, and it's a little itty bitty step. See, that's too big of a step. Most of you are taking not most of you, some of you are taking too big of a step even for waving hands. So keep your steps closer together. Now, I'm guilty of taking big steps, but I've been doing Tai Chi for a long time. So I can compensate and I can do the counterbalance I need. But for you all, there's no need for that. Unless, do that on your own practice time. Just take small step from Wuji out. That's right. Now to go into waving hands and clouds, now take a little itty bitty step. Then when you step in, itty bitty step. If you bring it in too close, then you're in a small base. That's right. Switch your hands. Weight shift. Now itty bitty step. Switch your hands. Then this hand scoops this foot in, but only this a little bit. So it's really, keep following me. If I step out 2 inches, then that means I step in only 2 inches. That's right. Yes. Okay. So I step out a little bit. And I step in a little bit. The wider our step, the harder it becomes. Okay. So it all starts with the setup. And the setup is from Wuji into Tai Chi. So let's do that one more time. Go in from Wuji. And then be mindful of your Tai Chi, that it's not too wide. Yes. Let's go ahead and start commencement form and sink down. And we'll go ahead and do the form. So now waving hands to the left, little step, not too big, and then just little step in. Now, your dantian should be turning from corner to corner. So to get my foot out, I have to turn. And then to bring my foot in, I turn. I'm exaggerating it so you can see, but the turning is what helps to bring the foot out. The turning almost automatically brings the foot in. Okay, so now that was 3. So come back to the center, and now go ahead, if you need to, look at your feet. They shouldn't be this far apart. They should be fairly narrow. Then go ahead and turn the dantian to drop the ball. Good. And then turn the dantian to dust the table. Now your weight is on which leg? Point to it for me. Okay, yeah, it should be on your left, but some of you are pointing at your left, but you're on your right. It's over here. Okay, good. Now dump the trash and hang up the towel. Now my weight is slightly on the left, and then we'll circle around. Now drop your shoulders, your elbows down, push the water, and the hinge or the weight is on your left. Okay, come back to the middle, and we'll go to the next one. Drop the ball. Your weight's on the left. Dust the table. The weight is now slightly on the right. Dump the trash. Hang up the towel. Push the water. Weight slightly on the right. Come back to the center. Now you see, because we were mindful at the beginning of all of this, our feet are nicely positioned for waving hands to the right. So little step, and then turn the dantian, little step in. Turn the dantian. That's your belly button for general purposes for new people. Step in. Turn, that's what brings the foot out. Turning brings the foot in. Follow through. Come back to the middle. And if you've done this right, then right here your feet are not too far apart. There you go. And then when we come back, when we come into Wu Ji, it's also easier. See, we don't have, okay, let's do that again. Come back into Tai Chi. Your bench is behind you. I want you to slide your bottom on the bench, sink into this foot, and bring this back. So you shouldn't see this, okay? Your shoulders just stay nice and level, like that. That's better. Okay, I'm going to put the music on. We're going to run this one more time. And what you're going to be mindful of is budgeting or monitoring your foot distance, because it's going to make this whole thing feel more comfortable. Okay, so starting in our position of Wu Ji, our position of nothingness, sitting down on the stool behind you. Now, when you separate your feet, do it in moderation, not too far. Good. Now, commencement form. So now it's going to be comfortable, that first step. So turn your dantian and step out a little bit, not too far. Step in a little bit. Switch the arms. Step out. Step in. Stepping out. And stepping in. So now your feet should not be too far apart. Come back to the middle. Gather that energy, expand it. And then turning towards the left, let the ball drop down. And dust the table. Dump the trash. Flip. Sink the arms down, push the water. Come back to the middle. Expand and open and close. Let the ball drop down to the right. Hanging up the towel. Drop the arms down, push the water. Now waving hands to the right. So if we're positioned our feet correctly, this won't feel too awkward, that first step, little step. Turn your dantian, brings the foot in. Stepping in. Coming back to the middle. Open. Close. Sink it down. Now be mindful as we come back to Wuji. You're still sitting down on that chair or that bench. Slide over. Sink into that foot. So now you can lift this foot without a bobble and come back. Pretty close. Pretty close. Very nice. All right. So we have just enough time to run through our other Tai Chi form set. We will do it without the stroking bird's tail. So we're going to do the serve the hors d'oeuvre, brush knee, waving hands in clouds, single whip, pick up burdens, or picking up sea foam. All right, so leave enough room then for 4 steps forward. I haven't yet decided whether to do the complicated waving hands or the, I don't know. All right, in our position of Wuji. Now same concept here. So don't take a huge big step on this. Separate your feet just a bit. It'll make it so much more comfortable. Commencement form. And now we're going to turn slightly to the right with your toe going with it. Scoop in the left foot. Little step forward, ward off. Sink that tailbone, adjust your toe. Come back. Turn everything. Scoop in. Ward off, or serve the hors d'oeuvre. Turn the toe. Next is brush knee. Then we'll go into waving hands in clouds. Let's just do the easy one. Step in. Stepping out. Okay, next is single whip. Scoop it in, read the book right, hold the bell left, turn your whole body, then connect that tailbone to your right heel. Come back in for our kicks. Again, not too wide of a stance here. That's it, nice. Kick. Kick. Now just lightly place that foot down, not too far away. And now waving hands to the right. Single whip. Bring it in. Open the door. Then let it go. Pick up the sea foam. Slide forward on the bench. Bring that foot forward, not too far apart. Then scoop that ice cream out with your elbows. And release and let go. And let everything settle down. Very nice. And now feel how your body occupies the space around you. And feel that space expand. And you're expanding into it. And it lifts your arms for you. And as your arms lift, you can feel the heaviness of the lower body. And open up your arms and receive the energy all around you. And let it flow into your mind for peace and tranquility, and into your heart for love and gratitude, and into your body for strength and health and immunity. And so we take our right hand and we make a fist for strength. And our left hand is open for friendship. We take our thumb and fold it in and bow it down, and that is for humility. We join them together as we have joined together today in strength and friendship and humility. Ah.